Good morning, Way fam from Nuremberg, Germany. I'm Josh.
And I'm Ashley.
Welcome to the video. Today we are exploring Nuremberg, but this morning we left our boat. They have two, the A boat and the B boat.
Yeah.
Actually, this boat is really funny because it's famous for having a ton of mirrors. I don't know what the B is famous for.
I don't know either, but I'd like to find out at some point.
Maybe we'll do that one in the future. Anyways, we're taking this riverboat tour for 8 total days. We are going up the main river, and today we've landed just outside Nuremberg, taking a bus into the city. And when you only have a little bit of time to spend time in the city, we find the best way to do that is to take a free walking tour.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. I found a free walking tour online and I booked it, even though you probably could just show up. It's about 2.5 hours, and they're going to show us all around the city of Nuremberg in the short amount of time that we have here. I love stories and legends, and our guide told us about a legend about this beautiful fountain, which it's actually named Beautiful Fountain.
Yeah, in German.
But anyways, there's a legend has it that it was a craft maker, and he had an apprentice. The apprentice fell in love with his daughter, but the craft maker, he was like, no way is my daughter marrying just an apprentice. So the apprentice, he made this beautiful ring, threw it in the fountain, and then left the city forever. So sad. But the craftsman, the next day, he found the beautiful ring, and he was so impressed because it was like the perfect roundness and better than he could have ever made it, and he would have let his daughter marry him, and never again did they see him. And it's just a really sad story. But the whole thing is that they have put a golden ring in the fence of this beautiful fountain. Now, the thing is, as a tourist, you would look at this and find this golden ring, right? And you are supposed to spin it 3 times to have as many babies and find the true love, but this is not the real one. The real one is directly on the other side. It's been used so many times that it's actually turned black, and we'll show you that one. It's right on the other side.
Almost directly opposite on the other side.
It's kind of hard to see, and you kind of have to climb up to spin it 3 times. Lots of babies for me. I've already found my true love.
Already we've learned the full and total and true history of Nuremberg. The story of Nuremberg basically goes like this. Some person was captured. They were brought to this little place. It was a grouping of people. The German Roman emperor came at that time as 1015, I believe, to free his slave. So in order to do so, he had to write a document that stated when and where and what time, and this place didn't have a name, so he called it this place on the hill. And in the old German, that translates to Nuremberg, something like that. My old German is obviously very bad, so there you have it. It's now called the place on the hill. A topic we keep here coming up is this sort of disagreement between Bavaria and Franconia.
Yeah, something we didn't know anything about until coming here, and so it's a little confusing. Right,
so as best we understand, there are different states or regions in Germany. Yeah. Some of that, there's like a dozen or something like that. At one point, Napoleon had conquered this area, and he sold the city, which was apparently very, very poor from an internal war that had been going on for 30 years. He sold it and
to Maximilian.
To Maximilian, right? Who then incorporated it into Bavaria, and everyone here is like, no, we're Franconian. And so to this day, apparently, to this day, the locals take great pride in calling themselves Franconian. And there's different.
Call someone from Nuremberg a Bavarian.
Yeah, at least not to their face.
Hey, or ever.
Right. So there's different colors for the states in Germany. There's like blue and white checkered marks, which is Bavarian, and then here in Franconia, it's red and white. So even though Nuremberg is in Bavaria, they use the red and white checkers to symbolically say, no, we're Franconian.
Yeah, we're still a free region.
I like that.
One of the #1 things to see here in Nuremberg is the castle, because it overlooks the city. So that's what we're doing right now. We're going up the hill
to the
castle.
Worth it. Why was it so important for you?
tomorrow to get inside the castle, the well, and then the museum if you want to do that. But on Sundays here in Nuremberg, it is free to get into any of the museums, and the castle is actually included. Today we were on a tour, so we're rushing to the next place. But I think that's a good advice. Come on a Sunday. And second, the castle is something that you really should see.
On the way out of the castle walls, we've come to this cute little area. I'm not even going to attempt to try that one in German. This place is really cute. One of the cuter places that we've seen on our tour so far. And just over there in this house is where a famous artist lived, a famous German artist, Albrecht Dürer. And apparently he is the one who brought this style of realism to Germany. So if you're a bit of an art buff, you can still go to there to this day and see like a little tour of the home and probably an art gallery. Looks like Ashley's made a friend.
Here for the taking.
No, you have to come. The tour is continuing. Bye, puppy.
One more story about Netherlands.
Specifically, one of the things that made this artist super famous is that he went to the Netherlands for this competition, and everybody was drawing these really intricate things, and he drew a circle.
Yeah, but a really good circle.
A circle. And he won.
Yeah, he
with
won.
just a circle because nobody else could do it. All the other artists tried. Sounds really cocky to me.
What do you think? For what did they build it?
The beer.
The beer, yes. What are we famous for here in Germany? The beer. This is for you. Yes.
We've come down to an area called the Craftsman Village. A lot of the houses in this area are original to what they used to look like before, but what's really cool is each street is a different craftsman. So like they have this is like the Tanner Street, and they have the street for the shoemakers, and they have a street for whatever different things. Just they all lived kind of together and had a little community, which I think is really, really neat. And it's absolutely beautiful and outside of the center, so you're kind of the only ones here right now during the day. And our guide said that this is a great place to find fun little bars to have a good drink. Don't go on the main streets, come to these fun little streets and go to the bars here.
Has ended. It was actually a really good tour, so we'll probably put the link in the description for that one. We came to warm up a little bit in a Franconian cafe. Franconian, keywords there. But just before we left the tour, our guide told us a tall tale, which is probably true, we'd like to believe, so we decided to run with it. And we have here some gingerbread from a German company called Lebkuchen-Schmidt, and they've been known to make gingerbread for a very long time. The Brothers Grimm wrote stories about the origins of this gingerbread. And the story is Hansel and Gretel.
You've all heard it.
Right,
I know
right?
you have.
It's the wicked witch who lives in a gingerbread house, and then she wants to like trap and eat the kids, right?
Yeah, which is hilarious because that's the children's version.
Yeah, that's the good kids version, right? So in this story, in the real story, there was a couple, Hansel and Gretel, probably slightly different pronunciation back then. And they were bakers, they made stuff, but there was a competing lady who made gingerbread, and the gingerbread was so famous that they tried to steal it, they tried to like sue her to get the recipe, all these different things didn't work. So they ended up killing her, stuffing her in her oven.
This would be in the outtakes. Halfway through the story.
They never actually found the recipe because she had sent it off to an acquaintance. And that acquaintance, in her memory, founded this company using her recipe. So supposedly this is the original gingerbread recipe from the story of Hansel and Gretel, which is based on this true story. There you have it. So now we're gonna try the famous Hansel and Gretel gingerbread. Of course, nobody here in Germany believes that story, but you know, for us Americans, it's a great story.
It's fun. I like legends like that. Ooh, it looks chewy.
That's good. It's got a wafer on the outside. It is chewy. Wow, this is so good.
It's almost like a cake.
It's got a little frosting
The
on
texture.
it. We've had gingerbread before where it was like super strong and spicy. This is very mild and like you said, kind of like a cake.
And it has really a lot of orange peel flavor.
Oh yeah. Yep, there's literally a piece of orange peel in it. I just bit it. Okay.
It's delicious.
If you want, come here to Nuremberg, probably other places in Germany as well, and to this company, you can get Hans and Gretel gingerbread.
They don't call it that.
No.
Don't ask for that.
Yeah, they'll look at you weird. She'll be like, that's an American story. That's actually what she told
That's
us.
what she said.
We've been on this boat for so many days and we haven't really showed a ton of the actual travel. Unfortunately, today is like one of the worst days. This is
really
literally
rainy.
like the worst day we've
Yeah.
had and it's still fine. But we're actually going through this thing called a lock and Ashley loves these things.
Yeah, it's something that I really was interested in, and I actually didn't know we were gonna go through as many as we've been going through, but even at nighttime, a lot of times they go through them.
Oh, okay, hold on. The captain's bridge is now lowering too. You're gonna have to get lower too. Basically what they're doing is they're bringing the roof down so that we can fit into this covered up lock. So we'll have to move.
The bar on the rooftop, it actually flattens down so that when we go through these locks that are so low, which this is one of the lowest ones, yeah, they can get the whole boat through.
So quickly what a lock is, basically it's a little box that your boat drives into. They close off one end and then they flood it with water from upstream and then the water level raises, lifts the boat up, they open up the other end and you can just drive on out. It's really simple. And then when you come downriver, they just drain the water out and then you continue on. It's really clever. I don't even know that there's much machinery involved other than closing the doors.
The only thing that I've seen that's really similar to this is the Panama Canal.
Well, I mean, the Panama Canal
like,
is a giant
miniature.
lock. Yeah.
But we've been going through small ones, like I feel like every half hour to hour.
Feels like it.
Common.
It's cool. Right
Oh, I just
there.
barely can see it.
Yeah, the boat is just barely clearing. I mean, seriously, there's like
We're squidged
there's
in
like
here.
2 feet of clearance.
No wonder they had to squish those things down. Look at how tall these walls are. We literally have to start here. They will put so much water in this area that our boat is to the top of that. That is crazy. That's so much water, huh?
We're actually in our room right now, and you can see the sides of the lock going by.
Look at this. So crazy. You can see the guy. So awesome. Almost to the top.
Here it comes. Ta-da! It'll actually get a little bit higher because it takes a while to settle.
All right, we made it safe and sound out of the lock. Pretty cool. Now it's home free.
Okay. We're going through another lock right now, but I
Yeah.
think it's a great time to close. We've had a full day exploring the city. It was so fun. Actually, I really like that city. It was probably one of my favorites we've been to so far.
Yeah, it was a really good German city to be in. Like, yeah, I liked it a lot actually.
Okay, so anyways, link is in the description down below. This boat is the A, so if you're looking at cruises, this is the one that we've been on this whole time. There's
Yeah.
also the B boat, but we don't know anything about that one.
They actually have a lot of, like a few different options of itineraries. This is only one of them in Germany, but they have one that goes to Paris, and they have
Yeah.
them all
There's
over
an Amsterdam
Europe.
one as well.
Oh, and on the Danube actually, so you
Oh,
could
yeah.
go through I don't know, Austria, Hungary, and Bratislava. What's Bratislava? Slovakia.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, thanks to them for helping make this possible.
Yeah.
We have one more day on the ship, and we'll see you in that one.
One more day.
Bye.
Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah,
Wiedersehen.
that was very good. A huge shout out to all of our patrons who helped make this video possible. If you want to follow more, go to Instagram at WayAwayMag. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, And don't forget to check out our second channel, Way More, if you want to see way more from us.